Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. First video for a few days. I haven't had much time to do videos actually, but I am doing a bit of crochet today. This is it's just a small blanket I'm doing. I have 3 balls of this. I have 2 lots, 3 balls with this colour and 3 balls with, I'll show you the other one. That is the other one. It's not exactly the same, slightly different shades in this one. This one is more like reds and purples and pinks. Like this one has darker, like grey and reds and just slightly different. But I'm going to do another blanket with this one. I'm going to make a small. This is just a small, as you can see the width. It's just a small blanket for like a carry cot or a pram, something like that, because I've only got 3 balls and I'm not sure how far 3 balls will go, so I'm just going to do what I'm doing with this and carry on. I'll do so far till it's about the length it would fit in a pram or something like that, then go around the edge to tidy the thing up. It's just I'm just doing double crochet, single crochet if you're in the United States and some other countries, but I'm doing 2 double crochet into 1 stitch, missing a stitch, 2 double crochet into the next stitch instead of just all double crochet across. It gives you a slightly different, well, you can see it's a slightly different pattern to just ordinary double crochet all the way across. And I just couldn't think of anything else to use this for. It's lovely and soft. It's like fluffy. There's a band on this one here, and it's called Stitch and Story Jolie. That's the brand. Never heard of it before. I've looked down on to see the makers, but the Stitch and Story is actually the makers of it. It just says Stitch and Story Limited, Diamond Cottage, London Road, Uckfield and East Sussex. But Stitch and Story LLC, originally Clearwater in the USA is the thing, but never heard of them before. But this was, well, that was sent to me, was brought to me, I think, by Julie. Julie she came up with a lot of stuff with her and her husband and brought me a lot of stuff that had been her mother-in-law's, I think, who had passed away, and she was left with all this stuff that she didn't want. So this was some of the stuff that Julie had sent to me, and I hadn't a clue what to do with it, and I thought, oh, I think a blanket would be about the best for like a carry cot, a pram carry cot, or like Moses basket. I think they call them bassinet, something like that. So I thought it'll be enough for that, because it's not quite enough for to do a larger blanket that you would put in a cot. So that's what I'm working with this, and it is very soft, but it is sort of fluffy like, which I couldn't think was why I couldn't think what to do with it apart from a blanket. So that's what I'm doing with that anyway. And I've just dropped and I am using this is a 12, it says 12mm on this hook, but I swear it's only a 10. I have a 10mm one that actually says 10mm. It's the same size of that, and I've done 1 or 2 rows with the 10 just to test it against this, and it's exactly the same. It's never came out any different, so I know that some of these hooks are wrongly sized. They've got the wrong sizes written on them. But anyway, I put that down. But I've been doing a little bit more crochet. I'm going to show you what I've been doing for there's a picture in my phone. This is for my great-grandson, Tommy. Wait till I find the picture in here. It'll not turn around. I can't get the picture to turn around. But you remember I did that little bag for Eddie, and that is one of the Minecraft characters, the creeper, who is some sort of demon, I think. So I've been told anyway by Eddie. So I did that one for Eddie, not thinking that the older, the 9-year-old, would want something like that as well. And when I took it, he says, when he's seen it, he says to me, "Where's mine, Nana?" So anyway, I've done one for Tommy. I'll show you the picture of the character that he wanted. If I can find it. That was the character. I've lost him. That was the character that Tommy wanted. Oh, that's easy. That's just black. It's just the head part, you know, the face that you have to do with the eyes for him. But when I was asking Cheryl, that one is called the Enderman. And I said to Cheryl, "Well, what's he? What is he?" She said, "I don't know. He just floats around and does nothing." So that's his anyway. There. I've done that one for Tommy. I think I've got the eyes a little bit higher than they were supposed to be, because I never looked at the picture when I was putting the eyes on, but I don't think it'll bother him. They're a little bit wonky because I had to knit the eyes and sew them on, because the bag is, you can see the bag's crocheted like. So that's the Enderman bag for Tommy. And I had to put a lining, and I didn't have anything black. That was the darkest I had of anything to put a lining, and I've had to hand stitch it. My stitching's not the greatest, but as you can see, I've just hand stitched it because it's too thick for my sewing machine. And I know that it could knock my sewing machine, the stitches, out of sync if I tried to do it on there. So I just stitch it. That's what I've done this morning. I've just stitched the lining inside and then put the stitch up the sides to close the sides up for him to carry his little bits and pieces in, which I didn't think he would want one. And of course, when he said that, and Eddie suddenly decided he wanted one as well, which I told you about in another video. But that's the other one I've got to do for Eddie. He can wait until I get round to that. I've already done him one. I've done him the creeper, because he kept harping on about it. But he's actually got that little plushie, I think you call them, little creature thing. He's actually got that, and because Tommy brought the Enderman one down to show me what he wanted, Eddie decided to bring that one down, and that he wanted that because he has to have that one. That's his word. I have to have that one because I might need it. I might need another one. But he's going to wait for that one because it's a lot more complicated. That's got wings on and antenna things sticking out. But I'll have a go at that. But he's going to have to wait because I'm only doing one a week. You know, these kids that drive you up the wall, don't they? Shut my phone down. So that's what I'm taking with me to my granddaughter's today for Tommy. And as you know, in my last video, I actually finished the cardigan I was doing for myself. I've started another one. I'm doing this is just the open moss stitch pattern on this one. It's another cardigan I'm doing for myself. I wasn't too sure about it when I first started it because I thought there was a lot more lighter grey in it. I thought there was a lot more of the silver grey, but it is just working out okay, the pattern. So that's how far I've got with that one, what I've been doing for myself. And I haven't done much more of any other kind of knitting. I haven't been doing much of anything lately. I've just been on my garden, doing things in my garden, trying to tidy my garden up. My son was up yesterday, my youngest son Ian. He's the only one that still lives up this area that can come up and help me. And you know, he came up, he was going to cut my hedge, which he was going to do last week when he was up. But during the time he came in to have a cup of tea and sat down, it started raining. So we didn't get much done last week because of the rain. So he says, I'll be up next week. He says, don't bother about the hedge. I'll come up next week and I'll do it. Came up to yesterday and it rained again. So the hedge is all wet. Even though the sun came out and dried up all the rest of the garden, but the hedge was wet. So I said to him, I'll probably tackle it sometime during the week. I said, because it looks like the rain's waiting for you to come on Saturdays. So anyway, I got a lot done in the garden. I was, just before my son came, I had been pulling all the weeds up between the paving, because I have paving on the patio, and have to get the weeds out to keep the weeds free there. But I have a large wide path that goes all the way down the middle of the garden, and there was loads of weeds and that, and I was sick of tripping over them actually when I was going up and down the garden. So that's what I stuck in yesterday just before my son came. I was pulling all the weeds out between the pavings on the wide path down the middle of the garden. So I had nearly finished when Ian came. But you know, while I was doing that, I noticed this little robin. It was flitting about in my garden and it was picking up bits of stuff that I had been pulling out from between the paving. And it actually landed on my hand. It came down and landed on my hand because I had a lot of stuff in my hand I had been pulling out. It picked a little bit off my hand and flew away again. I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe seeing a robin in my garden. I always thought the word robins were only in the winter. I'm just going to check on my phone and see what it says. I thought they went away somewhere during the summer. Well, this is what I'm just going to read to you what I've read about robins in here. It says, robins don't typically migrate. They become less visible as they spend more time foraging in woodlands and other areas with abundant natural food sources. While some robins may migrate south to escape harsh winters, they remain in their breeding territories throughout the year. During the breeding season, they become more secretive and retreat to bushes and hedges for safety. Well, this one wasn't retreating. He was in my garden all day, actually. He was backwards and forwards. And when my son came, because he mentioned, he says, look, the robins up there on the fence over there. And then he sees the robins over there. It was in my garden. Must have been what I was pulling out from the paving thing, as it was coming down, collecting stuff. So must have a nest somewhere. So that was very nice to see that. And I wish I couldn't have recorded it because, you know, what I was doing, I wouldn't have had a phone in my hand, but I'd wished I could have. I couldn't believe how that robin just came and rested on my hand and just pinched where I had my hand, a little bit of stuff, and flew away. I put my phone down anyway. So anyway, that's all I've been doing. I had a little bit when I was at my bingo on Thursday. I took this little bit. I did a little bit, one of the fronts. I'm in the middle of a row. I've left that in the middle of a row. The bingo must have started before I could finish it. It's one of the fronts on this cardigan. So I'd started one of the fronts. That's what I did at the bingo on Thursday. I never won anything on Thursday at the bingo. I'll put that back. I'll put that in. That's my bag that Angela sent me. It comes in very handy for the bingo. I put my knitting, whatever I'm going to do, and I take that to the bingo with me with my knitting. Everyone's admired this. They think this is a lovely bag, and I showed them how it was diamond, you know, the diamond, like the diamond paintings thing. So thank you very much, Angela. That bag has been admired quite a lot. So I'm just doing what I can before I go down my granddaughter's. I'll be going down soon. I'll be taking something. I'll probably take my own knitting with me, what I'm doing for my own cardigan, because I'm going to stick in and knit a lot more things for myself than what I've been doing before. So that's just a little catch up to let you know what I've been doing and what I'm going to be doing. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. Bye for now.